In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, dear friends of Radiance of Islam, the strength to hide what's sacred. The hall was dead silent, not the usual quiet, but the kind that comes before something unforgettable. No phones, no whispers, just waiting. Two faces met. A famous woman, known for her beauty and bold voice. A 10-year-old girl in a white hijab, calm as stone, eyes wise beyond her years. Woman, you're just a kid. Why wear that scarf? Girl, because it reminds me who I really am. A pause, not the answer she expected. Woman, and who are you? Girl, someone who wants to be seen for my words, not my hair or my skin. My soul doesn't need decoration. Some laughed, some frowned. The woman smirked. Woman, do you even understand it? Or did your parents force you? Girl, they taught me but never forced me. I saw my sister wear it. She looked like a queen. I wanted to be that strong. Woman, strong enough to defy the world? Girl, freedom isn't showing everything. Sometimes it's hiding what's sacred. Woman, but you're missing out. Wind in your hair, sun on your skin. Girl, I still dance. I still laugh. My hijab doesn't cage me. It protects me from people who think my body defines me. Her voice wasn't angry, just unshakable. Woman, you sound older than you are. Girl, I read about Maryam. She wore a scarf too. No one called her weak. Woman, that was centuries ago. Girl, and we remember her, not for her hair, but her heart. Silence. The woman shifted. Woman, doesn't it teach girls they're responsible for men's actions? Girl, my hijab isn't about fear. We cover what's precious, not because it might be stolen, but because we know its worth. Woman, can't you be modest without it? Girl, for me, it's a flag, a promise. Every morning I tie it and say, I am enough as I am. The woman leaned back, really listening now. Woman, where I'm from, confidence means showing yourself, owning your beauty. Girl, my scarf doesn't bend my neck. Confidence is knowing I don't need to impress anyone. Woman, what if people call hijab oppression? Girl, have they ever heard me speak? A beat, then softer. Girl, I wear it with love, choice, the awareness. That's not oppression, that's power. The woman's face changed. Woman, what would you say to girls ashamed of their faith? Girl, you were made by the most merciful. Walk like your mother carried you with pain. Stand like your ancestors prayed for you. Never apologize for your modesty. The woman's throat tightened. That last line hit deep. Woman, whispering, you're so sure of yourself. Girl, smiling, I'm sure of my creator. That's enough. Woman, what if I say you're brainwashed? Girl, then so is anyone who thinks beauty means less clothes. Every system trains minds. I just chose a better teacher. A silence that spoke, louder than words. The room went still, so quiet you could hear the air itself breathing. She looked up, her voice soft but strong. Maybe one day the world will see the hijab differently, not as hiding, but as holding on to something pure, something sacred. Then the quietest question of all, do you think you're freer than me? She didn't hesitate. I don't need to be freer than anyone. I just need to be free before God. No applause at first, just a heavy thinking silence. Then one clap, then another and another, until the room wasn't just clapping, it was feeling, not just for a girl in a hijab, but for a soul unshaken. The noise faded, but the quiet afterward wasn't empty. It was full of respect, of rethinking. Then she leaned in, not with doubt this time, but with curiosity. Let me ask you something deeper, she said, her voice calm but piercing. Why can't women lead prayers? Why can men marry multiple wives? Why does Islam seem to favor men?" The girl didn't rush. She took a breath, her eyes lifting like she was reading answers from the sky. "We mistake equal for the same," she said. "A rose and a cactus both grow, but they need different care. That's not unfair. That's wisdom." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. She continued, "Prayer leadership isn't about power. It's about responsibility, and men will answer for that duty in the next life." "But don't you want that role?" She smiled. "I don't need a pulpit to be heard. Truth doesn't need a microphone. But men have more rights." "No," she corrected. "They have more duties. 4 wives? That's 4 times the work. 4 times the justice required. Most men can't even handle one." The woman blinked, like her thoughts were being rearranged. "And inheritance? Women get less." "Only in some cases," the girl replied. "But a woman's money is hers alone. She keeps it all. A man, he must provide, no excuses. So tell me, who's really freer?" The room held its breath. "You speak like a scholar," the woman said. "I speak from the Quran," she answered, "from my mother's courage, from my grandmother's unbroken spirit." "And you truly believe Islam honors women?" The girl's voice wavered, just for a second. "Islam called women precious when the world buried them alive. It gave me worth before I could even speak." The woman looked down. The audience watched, not a debate anymore, but a transformation. "You said you're more than a face," the woman whispered. "I am," the girl said. "A mind, a heart, a servant of God. And if anyone says Islam oppresses women, let them sit across from me and watch a girl with a hijab speak like a queen." She turned to the crowd. "My faith doesn't need defending. It needs eyes willing to see." The woman met her gaze one last time. "What's your message to women everywhere, especially those torn between culture and faith? Who defines your worth?" She closed her eyes just for a second. Then, softly she spoke. "Don't let the world tell you your value. Don't let magazines decide your beauty. Don't let noise drown out your purity. Hold your head high, because Allah made you. Not from a man's foot, to be stepped on. Not from his head, to tower over you. But from his side, to walk beside him. Close to his heart. Silence. The kind that aches." The woman who'd been questioning went still. A camera zoomed in, not just on a child's face, but on something bigger. At that moment, the 10-year-old wasn't just a girl. She was the truth. She was powerful. She was honored. Across the room, eyes glistened. The air wasn't heavy now. It was holy. The lights stayed bright, but the mood had shifted. This wasn't a debate anymore. It was an awakening. Science versus faith? The woman leaned in. "You talk about faith like it's fact, but we live in a world of science. AI, Mars landings, DNA. How can you believe in a God you can't see?" The girl tilted her head. "Have you ever seen love? What? Can you hold it, weigh it, trap it in a box? No, but we feel it." "Exactly," the girl said. "I don't need to see the sun to feel its warmth. I don't need to grab the wind to know it's real. And I don't need to see Allah to thank him for my eyes." Silence. No dramatics. Just clarity. "Islam doesn't hate science," she continued. "The Quran told us to read, to explore, to think. It describes stars, oceans, embryos, things science proved centuries later. Science explains how. Faith explains why." The woman sat back, stunned. "Does prayer even work? Praying into the air? Isn't that just superstition?" The woman challenged. The girl didn't blink. "When a child begs God to heal their dying mother, what do you call that? Desperation." "I call it love," she said. "Sometimes the mother lives, not because science failed, but because mercy answered. But people still suffer. Prayers go unanswered. And sometimes medicine fails. Courts get it wrong. Do we give up on doctors? On justice? A gasp from the crowd. Prayer isn't a magic button. It's a rope to hold. Not to change Allah's plan, but to say, I trust you, even when I don't understand. What if God is just a crutch? The woman's voice dropped. What if God is just a story people made up? The girl's eyes gleamed. Then why do CEOs cry alone? Why do scientists stare at the stars? Why do mothers whisper prayers over their babies? She paused. Because we're not just flesh and bone. We're made with longing, and Islam fills that. I didn't just inherit faith, I chose it. Every doubt led me back. Every question found an answer. Fear met courage. The Quran doesn't shout, it whispers, inviting me to think, to worship the Creator, not the created. The woman exhaled. No comeback, just wonder. The woman cupped her chin in her palm. This wasn't an argument anymore. It was a revelation. The girl spoke softly, yet every word landed like a stone in still water. Islam teaches me I wasn't made by accident. This life has purpose. My breath is a gift. My time is borrowed. My body isn't truly mine. It's on loan from God. And one day, I'll return to Him. She paused. That's not blind belief. That's trust. Silence. Then the woman's voice cracked. But you're so young. How can you be sure? Don't you ever wonder? The girl's smile was gentle. Every day. But I take my doubts to God. I ask. He answers. Sometimes with clarity. Sometimes with quiet. But even His silence feels like mercy. Tears glistened across the room. The girl turned back, her voice steady. You asked if faith and science can work together. Faith isn't the enemy of reason. It's what keeps a smart heart humble. Science builds airplanes, but faith gives them a destination. Science heals bodies. Faith heals souls. The air hummed. The overhead lights seemed to glow brighter. This wasn't a debate. It was true, plain and unshaken. The woman looked down. Something in her had stopped fighting. You said Islam is peace, she whispered. But how do you handle people who hate you for your scarf, your name, your prayers? The girl smiled. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was once stoned. He didn't curse them, he prayed for them. He said, maybe their children will believe it. And guess what? They did. The woman's throat tightened. She no longer saw the girl as an enemy, but maybe as a reflection of herself. I've been stared at, laughed at, the girl continued. Once a boy called me a terrorist. I cried that night, but my father told me, they fear what they don't know. Your life is the truth they need to see. She paused. So I walk, hijab on, hope in my heart, sometimes silent, but never ashamed. A tear fell in the second row. Islam didn't silence me. The girl finished softly. It gave me a voice that doesn't need to scream. The woman sat still. No notes, no arguments, just thoughts echoing inside her. You're teaching me things I didn't know I needed, she admitted. The girl just smiled. Sometimes, silence speaks louder. Woman, blinking back a tear. You talk about God like He's right beside you. Girl, He is. You don't have to see Him to feel Him. I hear Him in my Father's prayers. I see Him in a bird feeding its babies. Even my tears, warm on my cheeks, that's His mercy. The woman looks down, struggling to speak. Girl, softly. Pain reminds us we're not in control, but we still pray. That's faith. Woman, voice shaking. You're young, but you speak like someone who's lost something. Girl, nodding. My brother died when I was 8, a car crash. I screamed at God, begged Him to bring him back. He didn't, but He gave me something else. Woman, what? Girl, peace. Slow, like rain soaking into cracked earth. I used to ask why Allah didn't save him. Now I ask how He saved me. The room holds its breath. The woman reaches toward her, silent. Girl, you don't need all the answers. Just trust. Even your pain has meaning. Woman, whispering, how did you survive? Girl, I didn't. Allah carried me. The woman's eyes change, not arguing, just seeing. Woman, broken but hopeful. I wish I had your faith. Girl, smiling, ask him. He listens, even in silence. Part 2. Modern faith. Woman, leaning back, thoughtful. In a world of science and progress, do we need religion? Girl, calm. We build faster trains, smarter phones, but we still can't build this. Touches her heart. Technology tells us how to live. Faith tells us why. Woman, curious. But doesn't religion divide people? Girl, people divide people. Islam says, honor all children of Adam. We're family, we just forgot. Woman, sighs. Some use religion to hate. Girl, firm but gentle. A knife can heal or harm. Blame the hand, not the tool. The room stirs. The woman's defiance fades. Something deeper takes root. Woman, sometimes I envy people with faith. They seem anchored. Girl, faith doesn't stop storms, it gives you an anchor. Woman, so without faith, people drift. Girl, yes. Without God, you're just an accident. Islam says, no, you're chosen. Your pain, your joy, it all matters. Woman, what if someone says, I don't need faith, I decide who I am? Girl, ask them, how long does that last? Till your heart breaks? Till death comes? Freedom without truth is just falling. Woman, then who am I? Whispers. Girl, a soul, a servant, a creation with a creator. Silence, heavy, real. Woman, I've searched everywhere. Books, love, travel. Still empty. Girl, maybe you're not missing something. Maybe you're missing someone. Woman, stunned. Someone. Girl, the one who made you? Who's been waiting just for you to turn so he can run to you? A deep pause. The air changes. Woman, voice cracks. I don't know if I believe, but I want to. Girl, then he's already near, closer than your veins. The room holds its breath. Not silence, awakening. Woman, truth scares me. Girl, because truth demands surrender, and surrender kills the ego. Woman, tearing up. Pride is knowing the truth, but refusing to kneel, isn't it? Girl, Allah humbles us because He loves us. The woman looked up. Love us by humbling us? Yes, the girl said, because pride tricks us. It says, you don't need God, but everyone does. The woman leaned back, breath shaky. Sometimes I feel like I'm on the edge of something, but I'm scared to jump. The girl smiled. What if you're not falling? What if you're learning to fly? A quiet moment. Then the woman laughed softly. You really believe this, don't you? With my whole heart, the girl said. The woman's voice turned serious. Aren't you afraid of what you'll lose by believing? Yes, the girl nodded. But I'm more afraid of losing myself without it. The words hit like lightning. The woman sat still, eyes glistening. I envy you. You've already won. I haven't won, the girl said gently. I'm just walking toward him. A long pause. Then the woman whispered, what if I believe in God, in oneness, in Muhammad? But I'm not ready to say it out loud. The girl didn't rush. She just smiled. Your heart knows. Your words will follow. But what if I change my mind tomorrow? Allah doesn't, the girl said. His love isn't temporary. The woman exhaled. I used to pity Muslim women. I thought they were trapped. Now I see. I was the one in a cage. Not a cage, the girl whispered. Just a room with a door locked from the inside. And Islam is the key? No, the girl said. It's the whole sky waiting outside. The woman's face softened. I don't know what to do next. Come closer, the girl said. To what? To the one who's loved you longer than you've existed. The woman covered her mouth, shoulders trembling. The girl just waited. No pressure, just peace. Finally, the woman looked up, voice breaking. Will he forgive me for ignoring him? He already has, the girl said. The second you wondered, something sacred settled in the air. The room felt still, like the world was holding its breath. The woman closed her eyes. I've fought for justice, saved others, but forgot to save myself. The girl's reply was gentle. You can't give the world light if your own soul is dark. A tear fell. What if I fail him? You will, the girl said, but he doesn't need perfection, just yours. The woman wiped her cheek. I thought Islam was a chain. Now I see it's freedom. She laughed through tears. And a child had to show me. The girl's eyes glowed. I'm not here to argue, she said. I'm here to tell you, you're not broken, you're not too late, and you're not alone. The woman sat back, stunned. The room froze. No sounds, no shuffling, like the universe itself was holding its breath. She dropped her gaze, then lifted it slowly. Her voice shook, but didn't break. I testify, she whispered. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. A ripple of shock, gasps from the crowd, from hidden corners, from hearts that had listened deeper than words. Some applauded, some cried. But the girl? She just smiled, eyes closed, like she'd expected this all along. The woman hid her face, not from shame, but from the weight of grace. Then, quiet as a prayer, what's next? The girl looked at her. Now you live like you've been set free. Walk like you're finally home. Pray like God is always listening. She rose, stepped closer. No grand gestures, just truth, meeting truth. The woman hesitated. The girl reached out, not with her hands, but with her soul. You're not turning into a stranger, she murmured. You're coming back to yourself. The woman breathed out, heavy and light all at once. And for the first time, she looked up, past the crowd, past the noise, with eyes wide open and a heart relearning how to speak. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and support. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to show your support. I'll see you tomorrow back here on YouTube. Take care of yourself.